Yep. Desert Palace. That's the main thing that's been holding us back this whole time. Now we're going to pull out our last trick. Where is... I don't care who does it. Zarok. You are taking command over the deer. You will be the Deer Lord. Pun intended. You will command 257 units versus all these bowmen, chimeras and all. And drop Tanglevine for Poison Vine growth. You will also transfer over a couple of slingers because, you know, in all honesty, a back row of slingers never hurt anyone. You'll march out and just gut this section of the barbarians. They are a lot of angry spirit boys, but thankfully we're not going to have to care about them for too much longer because we've almost... If I dropped Spore Branch, we can go. I'm not willing to do that. We can take one turn. Abco is a stunning one space away from hitting this guard tower. So next turn, we do a double assault. If he does not stop our near infinite death stacks coming towards his 2 recruitment locations, or if he does not claim another recruitment location by next turn, we win the game. I need to find like a list of music that I know for a fact I can play, because I know like streamers like Toast and otherwise, they're able to play a lot of songs, but I think they have it through their like, not Monopoly, that's a, what? Not Monopoly, no, what's his name? Management group or whatever. But I want to play Awaken, because that describes what would happen perfectly right now if I killed the other music. We have this humongous 1,000 dude death stack, but it's just okay. You know what, let's just watch this. The Chimeras are going on a suicide mission, and so are the Deers. He's Deer Lord. Save me some swole, brethren. And the Chimeras kill each other and themselves. How many wounds do you have? Lost an eye, chest wound, never healing wound, and feeble-minded. I am so glad. Alright. It's done. They weren't able to claim anything else. Our armies march, and we will soon take their last remaining capital. And finally, we can put an end to this version of the game of the Druid from Conquest of Elysium 4. Good lord, that took forever, and it's only because things just kept... Oh yeah, it's fantastic, but I can't control the music. And the music is still pleasant and fits Elysium, because it wouldn't be Elysium without these soundtracks. What do these dispossessed spirits think they're going to do? Like, really? And another batch. The Chimeras should be enough. More units drown in rivers. Oh no. We remain consistent, but the druids are slowly dropping. Wait, they still own 3. And they get a 3rd. That was taken from us by independence. 1, 2. There should only be 2. One, 2. Okay, yes, no, it is 2. Okay. I went insane. I'm sorry. They only have 2. The AI is not smart enough to do that, as described. Don't happen. U-branch. Summon. Oh, that's right. You can summon spiders and camels. I forgot. Take the palace. Oh, and you're fast too. Interesting. Yep, a bloody camel if you summon in the desert. I'm glad. Abco. There's one Lancer who's holding this. One minor animal summoning, and then let's go. I can't give it a name. Renaming only works on commanders, otherwise I would have given the Ent Swole Ranch. Zarok. Use the power of the gods. The messenger crow. Send messages and sing forth of our victory over the barbarians, and soon all we'll have to deal with is Hades. He's not Swole Hump, he hasn't proven his worth yet. It chugs, but it's dead by a moose. One final combat. The Desert Palace, let us go. Swarbranch and the Beholders, the jocks and the nerds have come together. With the camel leading the front. I am not putting my bets on the camel surviving. I'm not putting my bets on it versus the strength of the Beholders. Funnily enough, this battle would have probably given Swole Ranch his final bit of experience. Possibly, if the camel can make it to the front line, but I think he's just gonna die unceremoniously. With a Pyromancer who's casting Meteor, I'm terrified. The gate almost breaks, and our Beholders continue to march forward. Oh god! I think the defenders are going to be dead before the majority of our forces get there, with the exception of Swarbranch, considering he can just walk through the gate anyway. No, Swolehump lives. Kind of. It depends entirely on if the Pyromancer decides to Meteor Swarbranch. So if I remember correctly, Meteor... Oh no, it's only between 1 and 40. Okay, we should be good. And Swolebranch breaks down the front gate, letting all the animals through. Swolehump can still have a regeneration, although I'm very certain Swolehump's actually dead. Yeah, I don't see him anymore. I think he's dead. Oh, thank goodness. With all the enslavements, all the castings, and the horde of Beholders, the last archer falls to a meteor. Sorry, the last archer falls to a lightning strike. They have another base. That should have ended the fight. They have another base somewhere. There, you might be right, they might actually be in Hades. Even though it makes no sense, they might actually be there. If they do, there's like one chance I have to kill them in Hades. I'm gonna check because I'm gonna make sure that's not actually the case, because I hate the ancestor spirits so much. Nothing. Oh, I skipped a fight with these guys. No, it now needs to do all this. What else? Where else could there logically be a command point for them? Because their forces are dipping far faster than ours. But this... wait a minute. Are they existing with... no, that's impossible. The barbarians should be dead. Because they're on 0 command points. They're on 0 command points. They should be dead. Hold on. No, yeah, it's still AI controlled somehow. What? And then BrainBoy had a grumble. Indeed I did. Okay, we're gonna take the Oasis from them. I want to just go and take the Hyena Tribe village, but I don't think that matters. I'm gonna move up and I'm just gonna start killing off their forces and maybe try to force a victory that way by just having them have 0 commanders left. Those are just armies. Those are things that are actually relevant here. Oh my gosh, I have to go through a jungle one way or the other. Fine, give me the tribe village. I can catch them later. Move north. 800 dudes can't possibly fail this. Zalrock. 1, 2, 3, and coal mine. And because if they go north, we can catch them. Maybe. Maybe. Because Hades doesn't count as a faction here, aside from just moving stuff. And I will watch the 800 versus 200 because those fights should happen relatively quickly. Alright, the front lines have met. We'll let the Ents finally die off. The Ents with 6 negatives who are also cursed. Like, oh my god. I think they have every single possible negative affliction. What are you doing? Oh, Lord of the Sky. Okay, that explains it. Well, some of our commanders have died. I think that actually is 2 of our druids down. No, there's one elder druid. No, the elder druids are alive. Well, at least they're finally getting rid of some of the dudes, but they're killing themselves as fast as they're killing us, so we should be okay. Just give a couple more castings of that spell and things will start speeding up. Yeah, it's one Elder Druid down. Well, at least they're not hard for me to remake. God, I hate spells like that so much. Well, you derper, you can't fix this dilemma because you're dead. That's why our magic resistance is stupidly low across overall. And then E-Derper had a grumble. Salrock, you're in a different army. You're fine. My gosh, quit casting that, or at least let your people die off if you keep doing this. Like, at least blow yourself up. Because that's what's going to happen, is he's just going to blow himself up at this point, considering, like, he's the only commander, and he keeps getting affected by his own spell. Yeah, for once, Zalrock doesn't actually die in one of my games. Yet. You're probably going after against this army next. Yeah, basically. You're still the Beholder, who actually probably could have easily won this fight. If the Beholder got to this battle first. But yeah, this is my personal hatred of the ethereal thing, just because there are certain factions who simply cannot deal with ethereal. But regardless, we should have won this fight a while ago, because we have all their command points, which usually causes them to lose the game instantly. For some reason, it says we don't, and that makes no sense, but here we are. He kill himself yet? Of course not. Come off it. You have 1 hit point. You should be dead. Yeah, basically. Losing 90% of our army that we've been building up this entire time to one guy who just spam casting the exact same spell again and again. The only upside is that it occasionally hits his own army. Oh, he's gonna do it again. Why won't that guy die off? Is it like, does it get resisted by, Oh, strength negates. You have low strength, you shouldn't negate. Well, the moose are getting... Oh my goodness. 1,000 dude doom stack down to one group of 1 man with 200 deer. We might just attack them again, because that might be the only way to actually get rid of these pests. At least we're still making some progress. Chimeras are also, like with most of the things with the Druid, Chimeras are also actively harmful to use. Like, I don't know what this game's expecting of me, because most of my own stuff are actively harmful to me. Maybe. But remember, we also lost all our incorporeal stuff to the barbarian. Like, things that hit incorporeal, and I have no guarantee that I can do it. Again, this game also should still be over, because we have all the command points. Like, they can't recruit, so it should be game over, but it's not for some reason. For the sake of... Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna call this a victory, because at this point I can only picture the game as just cheating in its favor. Because there's no way that I'm going to eventually win, alright? I can say this with confidence because I'm just grinding them down, and I've hit a victory condition on my turn that they shouldn't have been able to overturn, but somehow just said, no, that victory condition no longer applies. So I'm going to call this a victory finally. I've been saying that I should have called it a victory a while ago. I'm actually curious, like, how much of my army score did that take down? Because that should have made a humongous dent, considering it wiped out, like, what, 1,000 units? In one go. It made a dent, just not as much as I thought it would be. You're still at 0! Yeah, no. Game's over. Game glitched. Game glitched. That's all I can say. Game saved, and game is... We have successfully won. Things I would do differently as Druid next time. Really, I did the best Druid strategy I could. Like, I'll probably, next time I try to play Druid, disable the winter area and disable the savanna area so we could have ancient forests spawn throughout, just to make this fight a little bit easier on the Druid, just because the Druid takes forever to get going. I might play in a different era and force myself to be able to get other spellcasters, simply because the Druid's main shtick really can only work against physical characters. Because once you get past a certain point, the Druid just cannot deal with ethereal beings except by overloading them by such a humongous margin. And then maybe gunning for the Elemental Nexus so I can get a bunch of level 3 spellcasters. Maybe. Oh hey, I forget this unit overview exists. This is a very long unit overview. Yep, we got to sit there and watch as an entire force of nearly 1,000 dudes died. What? Oh, wandering units. Okay, sorry. I was like, how could there be a stack of 1,000 forest shepherds and I've just never noticed? But yes, game's over. Oh, yes. And I would modify it so stupid units, even though you can't control them, I would at least make the stupid units a little bit less suicidal. Like, another big thing is we could have claimed more territory, or at least had more forest shepherds running about, if the forest shepherds would just group up a little bit more and not force me to wait until I have a critical mass of them. and if they would wander about and actually attack like smaller groups more consistently. Like, we have this one belt here covered in forest shepherds. But that's the thing, is we have one belt covered in forest shepherds. They could just exist in the winter area, and unless I control it, there's nothing I can do there. Or they could exist in the savanna area, which has no ancient forests, and well, I throw my hands up in the air and wave around like I just don't care. So yeah, next major project in Elysium might involve me trying to modify how stupid units move, so you can't control them, but at least their movements are sensible. Oh yes, and also adding in a check so stupid units stop drowning in water, so that when you're playing the voice of El, your freaking angel does not suddenly find itself beneath the waves and drowning, because that makes sense. I can feel the internal cringe as that just happens. Or a vampire angel, then maybe something else silly would occur. Let's see here.